Hello friends, David Gray here. Today we are going to do what I call my glazing / correcting process in the hair and skin areas. Now normally I like to fill in the background before I do any glazing or correcting. However, I've got an area down here that's still drying, and I want that to dry completely before I start working the background in. So we're going to go back to this area and do some correcting. Now I have oiled in already, and if you don't know what that is, I've got that posted on another video. You can also reference my teaching blog, dgoilpaintingtechniques.com. And what we're going to do here is, well, just to review, my goals in the overpainting are to get the overpainting as close to complete as possible. Hopefully, if I do it right, there's minimal amount of correcting that needs to be done. However, there's always a little bit that, you know, could be refined. So we're going to probably punch the color in a few places. We're going to bring some lights up as well. We are also going to harmonize a few places where there is disharmony, particularly the dark hair shapes transitioning to some lighter hair shapes, which I probably went a little too dark in some of these areas. So we're going to probably bring this a little lighter and then bring some darks up in this to cause a little more balance. I would like this to be more similar to this area as well. And then the other problematic area that's bugging me is the transition from hair to face. Now this bit here is fairly complex. Hair to face transitions can always be a little hairy, no pun intended. But this one has some wisps of hair as well as some shadow shapes cast by the hair. So there's a lot going on there. So I'm going to work that and make it a little nicer transition between skin into the hair. And one thing to keep in mind in this area is, you know, you got to visualize the whole thing as a whole working together. It's not skin and then that ends and now hair goes off from there. So there's kind of this blending of the two in this area, and you've got to, it's kind of a tricky thing to do. But anyway, we're going to work on that, which I didn't quite nail in my overpainting process. So let's see what we can do today. Okay, so that is all I'm going to do on this today. Seems like as I start correcting stuff I know needs to be corrected, I will see other things that I want to do. There are couple places actually in the face where I wanted to punch the color in the shadows. What else? That shadow cast by the braid is still too dark, but when you paint this way thinly over your overpainting, you know, there's only so much you can do before you should just stop and let it dry and then oil in again and adjust again. So I think I'll do that. The you know, and there's always things that, well, there's often things that you just can't quite get to feel right after 2 passes. So, like for example, this shadow, that shadow by her eye that's being cast, that just feels super awkward to me still. So I'm going to think about what I want to do with that, and if I need to maybe warm it up, or I think that's part of the answer. It just looks like a funny bruise right now, so I'll think about that, and probably glaze in some warmth, and hopefully that'll help it to feel better. So anyway, that's that. I'm feeling better about the transition from hair to skin up there, and that may take another glaze as well later. I don't know, we'll see. So there you go. We'll see you next time.